Hi, well, welcome back to part 3 of tutorial 45. If you remember from part 2, we were looking at a period of time delineated by a start time and end time on a chart, and we were trying to find the high of that period of time. And in the earlier programs, the way that we knew that the period of time had ended was we tested the time of the previous bar, and if it was equal to end time, then we reset the highest high. And this is fine provided there is a bar with the end time. If there wasn't, then we had problems. Now that might be okay for you, provided you know there is a bar. Obviously, sometimes, even though there is usually a bar, there is not a bar for a particular time, particularly for thinly traded stocks. So what we're going to do now is look at a different program which will get over this. This is tutorial 45.4, and the way that we do it is fairly straightforward. What we say is, if the time 1 bar ago is greater or equal to start time and less than or equal to end time, in other words, we know that 1 bar ago we were in the period, but now on this bar we're now greater than the end time, or we're less than or equal to the start time. That could happen, for example, if with an equity the end time was, say, at 3, and that was the end of the session, then the next bar would be the next morning. And if that was the case, we do the reset like we did previously. Highest high equals new highest high, and then we just reset the new highest high. And then during the period in question, we would just go through and ratchet up the new highest high if high was greater than it, and then reset new highest high to be high, and then simply we're just plotting the highest high. So that's pretty similar to what we looked at in part 2 of this tutorial, only we're just changing now the methodology for deciding when a period has actually ended. So that is one of the problems that we've solved here. The next one, though, was that we wanted to get a situation where the start time was today and the end time was tomorrow. And we know that when the end time value is less than the start time value. So for example, if we had a start time of 1600 and an end time of 0900, then we'd know that because the start time was actually greater than the end time, or at least the value of the start time is greater than the value of the end time, then the start time is today and the end time is tomorrow. So the way that we've sorted that out is in a little program here, tutorial 45.5, and the first part of it is very similar to what we were just looking at. We're just testing here and saying, is the end time greater than the start time? In other words, same day start and end. So we've just got this part of the program here was just is exactly the same as what we were looking at a moment ago. But then we've got this else. In other words, the end time is not greater than the start time. And so what we do in that particular case is we first of all find out if on the previous bar we were within the period, and we do that by saying the time of the previous bar greater than end time and the time of the previous bar less than start time. That's exactly the period we don't want to know about. So if that is equal to false, then we know that last bar we were within the period of consideration. But now time is greater than end time, or time is less than or equal to start time. In other words, we're not in that period anymore. And or that the time of the previous bar is equal to end time. And this is necessary because we could have a situation where start time and end time are essentially the bars next to each other. And if that is the case, we do the reset like we've done previously. And then all we do is, when we're within the period, in other words, this evaluates to false, greater than end time and less than start time, which means that actually we are greater or equal to start time and less than the end time on the next day. And if that evaluates to false, then we go through and we do the ratcheting. We also color the bars blue, so we get this sort of paint bar like effect. The only other change I've made here is I've said if highest high is not equal to 0, then do the plot, because right at the beginning of the chart there may not be enough information to draw the line, or there won't be enough information to draw the line, and hence we'll get a line at 0 which will momentarily mess up the chart. So what I've just done here is said if highest high is equal to 0, or sorry, is not equal to 0, then we can do the plot. And then if we just apply 5 to a chart, I've got it here applied to IBM, you can see that the start 8:30, the end is 12:30. So you can see there the cyan bars are the ones that it is looking at. And then if we were to, for example, say we want to go from 10:30 today till 8 tomorrow, let's just put those values in and I'll show you what that looks like. So 10:30 and 8:30, and what we should see is the bars determining the period will go from cyan to the blue color. So you can see there 10:30 through to 8:30, and then you can just see here that this line here, which begins the bar after the 8:30 bar, is correctly plotting the high of that period. And just to demonstrate what I was mentioning a few moments ago, if for example we had a start of 7:30 and the last bar of the day here on this this time scale is 1300, so let's just say let's just go say from 8:30 to 08:30 to a bar that doesn't exist, let's say 13:30. What that should do is include all the bars up to the 1300 bar, but then the next bar is the next day. So you can see it's just basing it on those cyan bars there. And what I've done is created a program the same as this, but it also plots the lows. And just to show you what that looks like on the chart, I'm just going to turn this one off. And in fact, let's just change the things to the same. So we'll say 08, 30, 1330, and this is going to plot the lows as well. And it's going to turn this one off. So you'll see that. This program here, you can see, for example, the low is plotting that low there during that period. This is available for download for a nominal fee if you are interested. And anyway, I hope you've found this tutorial useful. Thank you.